Hey everyone, how y'all doing? My name is Kimberly and this is From Loved Ones Tarot. Today we're going to look at the changes you could expect to see, big or small, for the month of May 2026. This is going to be for all 12 signs, Aries through Pisces. Now, it's still a collective reading for each sign, right? So if you cannot relate to the reading today, feel free to look at your other signs. So not only your sun, but your moon sign, your rising sign, and your Venus sign, depending on what you're looking to see change, okay? So if you're looking, for instance, what's changing in your love life, or what's changing in what you truly care about or what you truly value, and it could be a dream, goal, a relationship, then maybe look at your Venus sign, right? If you want to look at what's changing in your external world, look at your sun sign, look at your rising sign. If you want to see what's changing within you and how you're feeling, how you're doing, and in your deeper connections with other people, maybe look at your moon sign. But just to keep it simple, as always, you can just look at your sun sign. And if you gain any clarity today, please like the video to let me know, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't. It really does help me out. With that said, the timestamps will be located in the comment section below. And we're going to go ahead and start. All right, Libra, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, if any, happening for you in May? Up top, this first card represents the current state that will be transitioning or changing, and then slowly over time, this is the final form, this third card. Now, this could happen to you, again, slowly over time throughout May, or this could happen to you all at once, depending, right? Everyone's on their own timeline, because this is a collective reading, so it's going to be different for everybody. And if you cannot relate to this first card, feel free to look at your other signs. But here, with the current state that's transitioning, you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and to clarify, the Knight of Swords in reverse. So you have double the Knights. This is a slow movement or stagnant movement here. So there's something that you're unable to physically do or physically say or physically plan or prepare for something, a dream, a goal, a relationship, your future, something that you want or need. You're unable to do it in this current state. So again, there's not a lot of forward movement. There's not a lot of positive progress, if any, or maybe there's some setbacks, failures, disappointment going on here for the Libra collective. Now, in mid-transition, you have the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So there's something that you may regret doing or regret saying for some of y'all, or maybe feel guilty about. With this Five of Pentacles, I feel like you're going to come to a realization about certain people in your life. Maybe you may have discarded people too quickly or brushed them off too quickly. Because here, this is about maybe feeling down and out, and then you had support, but maybe you rejected the support or the offer that was given to you. And this could come from anybody. This can come from your personal life, professional life, where this support was given to you or offered to you that maybe you turned down, and now you kind of regret that you did that. For some of y'all, this is just maybe having guilt for what you said, what you did. That may have led to this stagnant state of being, the failures, the delays, the disappointment that you may be feeling. But here, by the end of the month, or at the end of this transition, because it could happen at any time in May, you have the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups in reverse to clarify. You will be given a new opportunity in regard to a certain partnership or connection here. Now, this connection could just be, it could be internally within you. You finally feel like you have the right ingredients within you to go ahead and move forward. You can plan, you can prep effectively, efficiently, and you can take that first step that you know will see results, that you know you'll see the positive progress, you'll see some positive progress, you'll see some success. There will be forward movement in your life. If this is having to do with a certain partnership, and again, it could be romantic, platonic, professional, but I do see an opportunity to try again within a partnership, or to start again with someone else. But we can go ahead and clarify this Ace of Cups. So let's describe, please describe what this Ace of Cups is for the collective Libra. 3 to describe it. You have the Magician, the Knight of Swords coming back up, but upright this time. and you have the Nine of Swords. They're describing this Ace of Cups as something that's going to give you the ability to manifest something into reality for you in regard to certain actions you want to take. So what you've been thinking about, maybe thinking to yourself, oh, one day I'm going to get this done, or one day this is going to get off the ground and running, an idea that you had, or a business that you had, a dream, a goal that you had. This Ace of Cups is going to allow you the ability or the possibility to go ahead and see some physical, tangible result for you. And it's something that they said that you've been worried about here in the Nine of Swords. So whatever you were worried about that you wanted to see come into fruition, that is what's coming back around for you by the end of this transition here, or by the end of this month of May. Anything else to describe this Ace of Cups for the collective Libra? You have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles coming back out in reverse, and you have the Knight of Cups here. So you have all Knights. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. This is you wanting to see movement in your life. All right. So how else are they describing this Ace of Cups? Here with this Five of Wands, it makes me think of, this is like a trophy, right? A trophy, the winner. You're number one. You're the most appreciated, most recognized, most loved, or most respected. And this will give you an opportunity to actually feel like maybe you're a winner, or maybe you're part of the cool kids group, or maybe you finally get that recognition or appreciation or love that you've been wanting here. Again, they're tying it back to what wasn't working before. So in your planning, preparation, and a dream goal, they're just reiterating it's something that you want it to work. It just hasn't worked out for you. And here with the Knight of Cups, they're relating this Ace of Cups to something that maybe you were trying to connect with other people. So if there's someone that you were wanting to emotionally connect with and you weren't getting anywhere in the connection, and it could be romantic, platonic, or professional connections here, but the connection got disrupted, disconnected, or it just never happened. Now you get an opportunity to connect emotionally with other people. This is an all-encompassing Ace of Cups here, where you get to not only work on a certain dream, goal, project, but you also get to connect to other people in an emotionally fulfilling or positive way by the end of this transition here. Any advice for Libra? What is the advice for Libra? Let's do 3 cards for advice. You have the World in reverse, the Sun, and you have the Strength card. So they're just reiterating what I just said, which is what you thought was lost or never going to happen. You do get that chance to set things right, or to just try again, or to try something new and do things differently than how you did it before. So maybe you learn from your mistakes, or you learn from a certain loss or failure or disappointment, and you can do things differently, try different approaches, have a different perspective. Here in the advice, they're just saying what was unfinished, okay, what didn't receive closure, that door that was never fully closed. Now you have that door is still open. The sun is shining through here. You just have to be brave enough and have the courage and the confidence enough to believe that you can walk through that door and things will be different for you. That you will see that positive progress. You will see that success. You will make positive, meaningful connections with other people. Anything else for your advice for Libra? Anything else for advice before we end the reading? You have Page of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands in reverse. They want to go back to this confidence here in the Strength card. If this was you, Libra, starting out again or starting over, and you're looking up at, you're envisioning your future. Your loved ones don't want you to envision a future where you feel like you're at the mercy of other people, that you don't value who you are and what you bring to the table, and that you believe you don't deserve as much. You only deserve the crumbs that people give you. Your loved ones don't want you to envision a future like this for yourself, okay? They don't want you to do that, because then you won't see forward movement. You won't get the results that you want. Okay, you won't get that emotionally fulfilling future for yourself. It actually will take longer for you to keep that mindset of, oh, I don't deserve as much as I should, or I'm going to be grateful for whatever crumbs people give me in whatever capacity here, right? It could be at home, at work, at school. You have what it takes to build the future that you want to see and the connections that you want to have. So trust and believe in yourself, because you got this. And hopefully this has helped you. We're going to move on to Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, if any, happening for you in May? Up top, the first card represents the current state that will be transitioning or changing, and it flows this way till you reach the final form in the third card here, or what has changed, okay? This could represent the beginning of the month, mid-month, and the end of the month here. Or for some of y'all, you're on different timelines, right? Because this is a collective reading. So this could happen to you all at once, at the beginning of the month, mid-month. It just depends, all right? And if you cannot connect to the first card, feel free to look at your other signs. But here in your current state, that's going to be changing. You have the Magician in reverse, and to clarify, the Page of Cups here. So there's something that you are unable to actualize here. Something that you thought was going to be a beautiful beginning, or a nice positive beginning, because here it looks like, this represents what you may have been feeling. Hopeful, positive, optimistic about something here. There was something that spoke to your heart or spoke to your spirit, and you wanted to start something. It could be a new dream, new goal, new project, new relationship of some kind, a romantic, platonic, or professional relationship here. But something didn't work. It could have been something that maybe the resources weren't available at the time. Maybe you didn't have the time or the energy or the focus. Maybe there's something in your connection that got disconnected or disrupted. And, the connection with other people just didn't work out for you. So then you couldn't actualize that dream or goal or project that you wanted or needed in your life. But here in mid-transition, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse and the High Priestess. It looks like you may not be listening to your inner voice. You may have turned your inner voice off because you're too emotionally overwhelmed with what is happening. So this could be very disappointing to you, very frustrating. And those negative emotions could be clouding your judgment. It could be affecting your day-to-day life and the decisions that you make. For some of y'all, if you don't listen to your intuition, you may be finding yourself learning the hard way, okay? So this is making more mistakes, maybe making bad decisions, maybe regretting what you do or say, or maybe feeling lost here because you're not listening to that inner voice. And yet somehow in the final form, or the end result here of this change, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Page of Wands. So what you're starting has changed. The path has changed, or your perspective or attitude or what you want has changed here, because you go from a cup to then a wand. And this is in relation to your motivation, your desire, your passion for something here. It's going to direct you somewhere, versus you're guiding yourself through what emotionally feels good to you here in the Page of Cups. Now you're like, oh, this is what I want. I'm going to get it. It's hard to describe how different it is, but this is a different path. And I feel here it's because now you're able to pick yourself up off that floor, or you're able to overcome those negative emotions and see things in a clear way. And you're able to begin again, even if you may never recover those connections that you had at the beginning of the month or most recently in the past. Okay, maybe those connections aren't in your life anymore, or maybe you don't feel the same way that you did anymore. But guess what? Now I have I'm clear thinking now. I have that clarity, and I have a new path, a new dream, a new goal for myself. And you're gonna go after it here. But let's gain some clarity for Scorpio. What is this final form for Scorpio? Can you please describe more for the collective? Can you please describe more for the collective here? You have Seven of Swords, the Moon in reverse, and the Nine of Swords here. So they're describing the end result as something that you were maybe afraid of, are hesitant about, because they're describing this change as something that happens after you understand or you see things for how they are. If this were to represent you and you're looking back here, you're looking back at what happened and you're like, okay, so I see things for what they were, and I see a lot of that stemmed from fear, anxiety, and doubt, and maybe for some of y'all, low confidence or low self-esteem. For some of y'all, not everybody. And you're like, okay, I get it now, and now I can walk away, having gained that wisdom from that experience, or having gained that closure, or just having that confidence to walk away, and you don't have to worry about what failed or didn't work out for you. And this is why, even though you're headed in an opposite direction or a different direction than where you started, you feel good about it. Let's go ahead and get you some advice for this transition or this change in May. So, advice for Scorpio. You have the Four of Wands, the Six of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Wands here. Let me do 3 more to clarify before I say anything. 3 more to clarify the advice. You have the Seven of Cups, Eight of Swords in reverse, and the Strength card. So your loved ones want to tell you, you may not be getting everything that you wanted, okay, during this month. And it could be represented in these 2 cards. So you see the man looking up at the sky, and then all these cups represent all that he wanted. A dream, a goal, okay, anything, love, success, career, money. And here you have 2 people celebrating together. So it could represent a happy union, okay, happy marriage, happy family, or, you know, that picture perfect life that you thought you wanted, okay? You may not be getting all this, but they don't want you to feel discouraged. They want you to have the strength to keep going here in these 2 cards. This man here in the Nine of Wands is about to give up because he's low on energy. He's tired of working so hard to get what he wants, to get what he needs in life. But your loved ones want you to keep your strength, to keep going. Because even if you're not getting what you want, let's do 3 more. So even if you're not getting what you want, you have the Eight of Cups, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Devil in reverse. This one wanted to come out. The Moon in reverse. And move them over. You're now, if this was representing you here in the Eight of Cups, you're walking away from these cups here. And these cups represent, again, all that you wanted. You know, your dreams, goals, desires, relationships, all that you wanted. You're walking away from it, right? You got to leave it behind. Either this was by choice or not by choice. Either way, this is something that is good for you, or it will be good for you. Because what you're doing is you're leaving behind relationships that didn't work out. Okay, people that weren't looking out for your best interests, that weren't supportive, okay, or maybe weren't respectful or kind or compassionate, or didn't allow space for you to express yourself, for you to shine. Maybe they're stealing your shine, your spotlight, Scorpio. You're leaving behind those people. And in the Devil card, you're leaving behind negative cycles of behavior, of thinking, okay, negative repeated thoughts here. You're leaving behind that. And it could come from you, this negative attitude, or it's coming from other people, their negative attitude, their toxic traits or behaviors here. You're leaving that behind. You're freeing yourself, okay, from negative cycles that leave you stuck. And you're going towards the truth, a new perspective where you see things for what they are. And you see what you want, what you need. It's going to be different, but it's going to be better. This is why your loved ones want you to keep that strength, to keep going, even if you don't get what you want during this month. And hopefully this has helped you. We're going to move on to Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, if any, during the month of May? Up top, you have the current state that may be transforming here or changing. And then it flows this way to the final form here, the end result. This could represent by the end of May, okay? Or this could happen for you all at once, or at the beginning of the month, mid-month. It just depends. This is a collective reading. Everybody's on their own timeline. And if you find yourself not connecting to the first card here. Feel free to look at your other signs. But here in the current state that may be transforming or changing, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. And to clarify, you have the Chariot. You may be experiencing some emotional instability here, to where it could either be clouding your judgment, or it could be causing you to not be able to see things clearly here when it comes to making decisions, planning, or preparation. And this could happen for many different reasons, right? It could be something going on in your environment, or it could be something going on in your connections. This isn't necessarily saying you emotionally are stable or unstable. This is just saying, okay, maybe there's something going on here in your life. Maybe it's a little hectic, but it's causing some clouded judgment, or it's causing you not to see things clearly. And in your decision making or planning or prepping, something's off here, and maybe you can't see things for what they are. Here, maybe you're being logical or reasonable. Maybe you can't do that right now, but this is what is changing. Mid-form, you have the Hermit in reverse and the Two of Cups. So this doesn't look like it's transforming here for you. If anything, this is you coming from, you were once the Queen of Swords. Even if you were in reverse, you're still represented as the Queen of Swords. So this is someone with mastery of communication. So you do know how to communicate well. You are intelligent. Then it goes to mid-form as the Hermit, as someone here who is still having to internalize what he's going through, but he's not able to internalize it well. So you go from maybe you can communicate or express yourself or connect with other people. Maybe there's some disruption or disconnection going on in your life, delay, setbacks, failures, disappointments, conflict. But then here you're not able to express yourself outwardly into your external world, and maybe even to yourself. Because here in the Two of Cups, reverse, to clarify, this is disconnected or disrupted or broken connections. And this could represent a disconnection within yourself. So you may feel even more conflicted as we lead more into this month here of May. You go from, okay, you have a handle on your life, right? Your day-to-day life and what's going on. But then you go to, okay, well, I don't know what I want anymore, or I don't know what I need anymore. And for some of you, maybe you don't even know how to repair the connections you made in your external world with other people. And then the final result here in this change, or lack of change here, positive change rather, you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So this is you going further into internalizing how you're feeling. For some of you, okay, not everyone. If you're not connecting to this reading, again, look at your other signs. But it looks like you're leaning more into you, like withdrawing more into you. Because here in the Three of Pentacles, because you're not seeing external change, okay, within working with other people or connecting with other people. And this could be romantically, platonically, professionally. Whoever it is you're trying to work with here in the Three of Pentacles, on a dream, goal, project, it's not working out. So as hard as you try to find an answer or solution, it's still not working out. So therefore, you're still left with anxiety, frustration, disappointment, resentment, bitterness, all of that here in the Nine of Swords. And it's become internalized because you can't say it out loud. For whatever reason, you're not able to say this out loud, how you're feeling, or maybe you don't even want to. Let's go ahead and clarify this change for the collective Sagittarius. Please clarify the final form. You have Three of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Wands, and you have the King of Swords in reverse. So what you've been trying to work on, okay, if this was representing you, Sagittarius, as the collective, you have your eye looking this way, towards the Three of Swords. And this is a desire to heal internally, externally, or to heal some type of connection. This is what you're working on. This is what's draining your energy, taking all your focus, okay? And then you have the King of Swords here, which is your counterpart. Remember, you're represented by the Queen of Swords. And here you have your counterpart, who is also in reverse, but I'll flip it over. So here we have you And then we have your counterpart. So this could be representing your partner, your romantic partner, could represent a best friend, could represent someone at work who is your equal here. But they're unwilling to communicate with you or to connect with you or work with you in the way that you need them to. And this is what maybe is why still there is a breakdown of communication. There's an inability to express yourself, an inability to say how you're feeling. Because perhaps this other person in this reading is unwilling to listen. They're unwilling to work with you. They're unwilling to have some compassion, respect, or kindness, or just take the time to listen to you, hear you out. Any advice for Sagittarius? Let's get 3 for your advice. You have the Death here, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. Right now, it looks like you're shedding your skin like a snake. Not to say you are a snake, Sagittarius, but what you're going through, your loved ones want you to know, this is growing pains. This is you releasing what doesn't work in your life. And it could be you releasing this person, or you're having to release any negative cycles of behavior, negative cycles of thinking, unhealthy or negative environments or partnerships, or the way you work in a partnership. So this breakdown of communication, the breakdown of a connection or partnership, could actually force there to be something done about it. Not to say that it's over or that it's ended. He is forcing it to heal at a later date. Just maybe not in May. Okay, maybe not. For some of y'all, the breakdown could be the catalyst to change things, to have those difficult conversations, to where y'all can come back together. But your loved ones, back to your advice, they want to say this is a transition for you. You're becoming independent, more independent. So by a certain connection not working, you rely heavily more on yourself. And it may not be what you want, right? Because maybe you do want to have a partnership, a healthy, positive partnership, but it's not working. So your loved ones are saying the universe is guiding you to work by yourself because you're gaining more success here, more positive growth in your life, in your personal dreams, your personal goals. You're becoming more fulfilled and whole within yourself. And once you're able to stand on your own 2 feet and experience the fruit of your own labor, right? To be able to enjoy what you have accomplished or set out to do, then you'll be able to have experienced the 4 of Wands, is you being able to connect with another person in a more positive, harmonious, beautiful way. Anything else for Sagittarius' advice? Anything else? 3 more. You have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, the 7 of Pentacles, and the King of Cups in reverse. So they want to let you know, if you don't see something working out, okay, you don't see it working out, they want you to wait here. Like the man in the 7 of Pentacles looking at his garden, waiting for it to blossom or bloom. They want you to wait. The work that you put in now towards yourself, towards your personal goals, personal dreams, that is going to blossom soon for you. So try to remain calm during this time. I know there's going to be a lot of disconnection, disruption between communicating with other people this month for some of y'all. If that happens, try to remain calm and just remember in the back of your mind that the fruit of your labor is going to blossom soon for yourself. So you may not get a positive connection, but you will see positive progress and success in what you want personally. And hopefully this has helped you. We're going to move on to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, if any, happening for you in May? Up top, the first card represents the current state that will be changing, okay? And if you can't relate to this card, feel free to look at your other signs. And then it flows this way to where you have the final form in the third card here. or the end result. Here in the current state that's changing, you have the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Empress to clarify. Okay, there's something that you try to give your passion, your creativity to, but it failed. It could be a connection with other people, okay, and that connection could be romantic, platonic, professional. It could be in a certain dream, goal, project that you try to see success in, but maybe you experience some delays, or maybe it failed altogether. But here in mid-transition, you have the Three of Cups and the King of Cups. This is you being able to bounce back here. So you went from the Knight of Cups to the King of Cups here. So there's definitely a transition of going up, forward momentum here, positive progress, success, stability, and emotional fulfillment here for you. So what you feel passionate about, creative about, something that you love or value, that you're going to be able to experience and enjoy here in the Three of Cups. And now that I'm looking at all the cards, maybe you were trying to connect with someone who may be more experienced or more older or has more stability in some way more than you. And this was what was causing a little bit of disconnection here. What you offered wasn't enough. But then now here you become the King of Cups. So in a way, in mid-transition, you do find a way to level up in some fashion here. Maybe you gained more stability, gained more money. Maybe you re-strategized and you tried a different approach here and it worked. But here at the end, you're right back to the Page of Cups. So you started as the Knight of Cups. And then, in the energy speaking, here you went to the King. And then you're right back here at the Page of Cups. So you fell from your throne here, metaphorically. And you didn't even go back to a knight. You went back to a page. What may end up happening to you, Capricorn, is that you may... Okay, once you accept some sort of connection with somebody in any kind of form, and once you accept some sort of success, okay, in any kind of form, or accept more responsibilities here, I see here you're trying to juggle this newfound connection or new power. And maybe the way that you respond to this new stress or this new burden, as positive as it is, you're still not able to handle it as well as you should be. So maybe if I could put it this way, here you are in the Knight of Cups, you go and apply for a position that is above your experience, and you get the job, and then now your company expects you to operate in the way that you say that you know how to, and you're like, uh-oh, just kidding, I actually don't have those skill sets, I actually don't have the credentials or that degree to get this job. But maybe you can't back out of it, and so now you have to figure a way of how to juggle your newfound responsibilities or this newfound power here. Let's go ahead and clarify this change for you in May. So 3 more to clarify what is the change. Describe this change for the collective. You have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Cups in reverse, and the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. There's something that you may have been careless or too relaxed about because you thought you couldn't be kicked out or rejected. You thought your position, whatever your position is, was permanent or solid here. Maybe in your focus, in your actions, it was maybe too reckless, too careless. Maybe you start to procrastinate here. But then here in the 6 of Pentacles reverse, you start to realize what was given to you, it is not a gift. It can be taken away. So you actually have to watch what you say, watch what you do, and you actually do have to perform something. What's your advice here? Let's do 3 for your advice for Scorpio. Your loved ones want to tell you, if you're unable to become the Emperor here, then maybe it's time to start something new. And remember, they're going back to, they described it as you trying to offer something to the Empress. But the Empress, again, could represent a person, it could represent a company, it could represent a dream or goal that you had. But whatever it is, it required more of you than what you actually have to offer. Not to say what you have to offer is wrong in some way. It's just maybe it's not enough. And if you're unable to rise to the occasion in order to be able to, I don't want to say afford, but to be with the Empress as the Emperor, then it's time for you to try something different. Maybe a different approach, okay, for some of y'all. Or maybe a whole different path for yourself. So a different dream, a different goal, a different relationship. Anything else? Anything else for Capricorn's advice? You have the Ten of Swords, the Lovers, and the Nine of Swords. Your loved ones want to tell you, and this may not be for everybody, this advice. So if it isn't, feel free to not take it, right? The choice is yours. But they're saying if you're worried about hurting the person involved here, this Empress figure, or whoever it may be, if you're worried you're going to hurt them if you back out on a certain commitment that you made, then your loved ones want you not to worry about it. Why? 3 more. Why should Capricorn not worry about the impact they will cause if they decide to break this commitment of some kind? 3 more. You have the Page of Wands coming back out, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. If you try to start something now, and you got here unethically or dishonestly, then it won't work. And for others, you can't start something that you're always looking to get out of. You see the woman here looking back this way, and she's going towards this opportunity here. What you're going through now, an opportunity for a new beginning. She will always have her eyes looking outwards, away from this positive change in her life. Why? Because she's always looking for something else, or she's always looking for a way out. So your loved ones want to tell you, don't get into something that later on you're going to regret you did it. It's better now that you end things than to experience a difficult time for yourself. Anything else for advice for Capricorn? You have the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups coming back out in reverse. Oh, 2 more. You have the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Moon also in reverse. For some of y'all, maybe a very few, because this is very specific, your loved ones want to tell you, yeah, it may feel good in the moment in May to be with people, like-minded individuals who maybe love you or support you or recognize you for being all that you are. But again, with the Two of Cups here in reverse, it's not going to work. This isn't a true, solid connection or partnership that's taking place. And you don't truly want it anyway, okay? By the end of this change, when you recognize maybe you're in over your head, maybe this requires more work than you're willing to give of yourself, this maybe isn't even a partnership that you want. You may just have to accept that this offer opportunity coming up, it may just not be meant for you. It may just, or it just may not meant to happen right now. And hopefully this has helped you. We're going to move on to Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, if any, happening for you in May? Up top, this first card represents the current state that will change. And if you cannot relate to this card, feel free to look at your other signs. And then it flows this way to the final form or the final result of this change. Now, this could happen gradually throughout the course of this month, or it could happen all at once. But looking at the first card with the Hermit in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles to clarify, something came in for you, a new opportunity to see positive change in your life. And it could be anything, right? This is a collective reading. It could have been a job offer, it could have been a new relationship, or it could have been money coming in for you, you know, a loan, or someone gave you something, a gift. Whatever it is, you just had this opportunity to see positive change in your life. But maybe you don't have the mental clarity just yet on what to do with this opportunity just yet. So maybe you're having to wait a little bit, maybe do some research, study up on what to do, or maybe you're still just thinking things through. But you do see this in mid-transition as a really good time in your life to make a choice, make that decision, utilize this opportunity for positive change, use it now. So you do in the Knight of Wands, you go after making this positive change here. But what may end up happening, because you didn't have, maybe you're not well informed, maybe you didn't like really look at, okay, what is it actually that I want to do or need to do? Where do I actually want to take this opportunity for my future? Because you take action prematurely, something ends up being imbalanced here, or thrown off balance by the end of this change. This card is the card of unfairness or conflict. So either you or someone else may be getting taken advantage of in the end, causing you or the other person to have to walk away here. So this opportunity to see positive change kind of falls apart in the end. But we can clarify this. Aquarius's change for May. Describe it more. You have the High Priestess in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So you not listening to yourself, if you have this small voice inside of you saying, oh, maybe this isn't a good opportunity for me right now, or maybe this isn't the best time for me to be making moves or making decisions just yet, or maybe I need to talk to my partner, or maybe I gotta read that contract over twice just in case, you know, or maybe I need to save up more money. Perhaps you don't listen to that voice inside of you, so you make some type of bad decision or mistake here. And for some of y'all, it ends up being revealed in the end. So if this was some sort of scam or fraud, that gets revealed to you. Or if you happen to be, I don't know, maybe a little sneaky about going about this opportunity, that gets revealed to other people in your life. Which is why you end up with the Five of Swords, which is hurt feelings, conflict. Let's do 3 cards for Aquarius on their advice during this change. You have the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Let me just rearrange these a little. Your advice seems pretty clear, and this may not be for everybody, so if this isn't your advice, don't take it. But for some of y'all, and this change happens to you, where you discover some sort of disappointment, letdown, scam, fraud of some kind. Your loved ones want you to wait it out, okay? Even though it looks good, this opportunity for positive change, don't do it right now. You have a good thing with what you have now. You have a good thing. So don't go out looking for something better or something shinier. Why is this? 3 more. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Two of Wands, and Justice. I'll pull one more for this Justice card here. The Two of Cups. Okay. Notice it has that theme of balance, the scale, the Two of Cups. But anyway, for your advice, more advice, your loved ones are saying you're rushing into something that honestly you're not really preparing for. Again, maybe you're not well informed, you didn't do your research, or maybe you haven't decided why you're wanting to rush into it. Why are you rushing, Aquarius, into accepting this opportunity for positive change? Why are you rushing into it? Maybe take a look at why you're doing what you're doing, or how you're feeling. Because for some of y'all, there is an internal balance, an internal conflict happening within you that has to be addressed first before the internal conflict expresses itself or manifests itself into your external world and into your connections or relationships. Okay? Your conflict inside will then mirror you on the outside within your relationships or in your decision making. Okay? So that has to be rebalanced, realigned for you. And also for some of y'all, make sure that you're open and honest within your partnerships if needed here. If you do have to have that conversation about an opportunity or offer coming up and what you're thinking of doing, have that necessary conversation. And if you're dealing with other people that you have to put your trust in, do some research and make sure that you can trust them. Anything else for advice before I close the reading for Aquarius? You have 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Your loved ones just want to reiterate, and again, this is very specific, so it just may not be for you. I know it seems like a good time. I know, like, it seems like everybody is going to be happy in the end, right? That everyone's going to like your decision that you make, or this offer opportunity to see positive change. And you believe, I know it looks like on the outside that people can be trusted for some of y'all, but it just may not work out for you with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It just may not work out. So it's better for you to wait this one out this month, okay? And I do have a reading to check your inner alignment. It's what was the title? In 5 minutes or less, check your inner alignment. Perhaps you could benefit from that reading. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out on my channel. And hopefully this has helped you. We're going to move on to Pisces. All right, Pisces, what changes could you expect to see, big or small, happening for you during the month of May? Up top, this first card represents the current state that may be changing. So if you cannot relate or connect to this card, feel free to look at your other signs. And then you follow the flow here to the final card, which equals or represents your final form or final result. Now, this could happen gradually throughout the month of May, or this could happen all at once. So keep that in mind. There's a decision that you made recently, and it was a difficult decision to make. It's definitely, it was centered or connected around conflict, and it could be inner conflict happening within you, or it could be in your external world with other people, where maybe y'all couldn't agree on certain things. And this conflict could take place at home, at work, at school, but whatever the case may be, you ended up with a decision here. And in mid-transition of this month, you do get validated and affirmed that what you decided to do was the best choice for you. Here with the Ten of Wands in reverse, and to clarify the Nine of Pentacles, you are able to shed off that stress and that burden of having to make this difficult choice, and experience some level of peace, of stability, of success here with the Nine of Pentacles. This is someone being able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. This is someone who's content, fulfilled. This is someone who experiences physical stability, financial stability, emotional stability. And at the end here, in the final form or final result, Six of Cups, and clarified by the Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is peace, comfort, security within you here, mid-transition. And by the end, you get to share that with the people you care about. And for some of y'all, you've kept this decision to yourself. Maybe quiet. You kept it quiet, and now you're able to share it. This is what this is what I'm seeing. You sharing it. So it could be you're sharing the truth, sharing some information, sharing your change of status, sharing the change of your wealth here, sharing your money here, sharing your love, whatever it may be. By the end of May, there's going to be something to celebrate all around here. Let's see if we can get some clarity on the change. So loved ones, please describe more this change that may take place for Pisces here. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse. So they're describing the change as something that you've been working hard on, but you couldn't necessarily say, or it's something that you couldn't really put into action here. It's not something that you could tangibly see or use or say, yeah, look at that, I did that. So it was something that you had to wait on, but it was definitely something that you wanted. Like, you felt like this would complete your life. It would fulfill you in a way that you haven't felt before. Okay, so that's how they're describing this change. It's something you've been working on. You may have been working on it with other people. It's something that you couldn't really actualize and into your reality just yet, but it was something that you knew was going to fulfill you. That is what is coming into your life by the end of May. And you get to share it with other people. Now, let's get some advice for Pisces. 3 cards for Pisces. You have the Moon in reverse, 8 of Cups in reverse, and the 7 of Swords coming back out, but upright this time. Now that you know the truth, or somewhat of the truth, now that you're getting validated a little bit here, don't think you can just rest knowing that, oh, it's fine, I'm going to get it anyway. because my loved ones told me, I got it. Don't rest. You can't really rest easy right now. You still have to go after and work for whatever it is that you were trying to do. And also, for some of y'all, this isn't the time for you to go and share it just yet. So you may still have to keep quiet about what you're doing, and quiet about if you do receive some level of new stability, new success, new blessing. Maybe stay quiet about it for this month. Anything else? That's 3 more for advice for Pisces. You have 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, and the World in reverse as well. Okay, for some of y'all, the way your life is structured, okay, what gives you comfort, security, safety, that is being rebuilt, okay, or redefined. And they want you not to resist that rebuilding or redefining here, what's taking place. Because if you resist, it may not come into completion here. So maybe you have to lower your stress levels here, maybe needed. Stay grounded, okay? And allow yourself to be flexible and adaptable to whatever is changing here, whatever's moving around, these moving pieces of your life. Anything else before we end the reading? You have the 9 of Swords in reverse, the Hierophant. These two that one wanted to come out as well. You have the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, and you have the 10 of Wands coming back up. You see? Let me put this down. Let me kind of move this over a little bit. So for some of y'all, your loved ones want you not to worry about your marriage or your family or your job here. Just wait. Just watch and observe how well they're able to handle new stress, new responsibilities, new obligations, or the shift in you, this changing in you. Remember, you're being rebuilt, redefined, and watch how well they can adapt to what you're going through. They're going to be able to take on whatever it is that you took on. So they will be okay as well. Now, that was very specific, so maybe that was only for a few of y'all, but hopefully this has helped you.